Dad was a pretty aggressive kind of fella and a drinker. Pretty much lived in a healthy fear of his opinions and judgment and punishments and stuff like that. Started smoking dope and turned into a poly user and didn't finish high school. Meeting the hierarchy of the people in the scene that I was in, people that are a few rungs up the ladder and that, like to have someone my size and look and shape and ilk to give them some security for themselves and a bit of an intimidation factor. While I was high, I used to think that I was better than the rest of the people that were there. And as soon as they'd open their mouth and say something I didn't agree with, I'd jump in and hurt them. So through that, something told me that I needed to get out of this environment. So I went and stayed with a guy who actually had a worker. And I approached this worker and said, why can't you do something for me like you're doing for my mate Luke? From there on, I went into a crisis accommodation. And the first 2 years, I had the best housing worker, Carrie. Then I got this lady, Jennifer, and she was amazing. Felt like a sister and a friend and a mother all at one time. Subliminally, she started to suggest recovery and detox and rehab and stuff like that. She used to weave it into a sentence without being very confronting. It was real casual and mellow and not, you ever thought of going to rehab? It was never anything like that. She'd weave it into some sort of subject when we were talking about trying to find specials at the supermarket or something like that, It was just the simple stuff, like saying things like, has anyone told you today that you're a good bloke? And you look at them and go, the fuck do you want? Because no one gives you credit or praise or anything like that unless they're chasing some money or some substances, And I've had some experience myself in trying to help some people. None of the things that even I take on or they take on board are instant changes. They're just seeds that get planted, and hopefully at a later date, all these seeds will turn into a crop that'll flourish. And in my case, that's what has happened. And I've been able to change 180 degrees. Putting down the substances was the easy part. Working on my emotions and feelings and anger issues was the hard part. And then I got asked what it was I wanted above and beyond all else. And my expression was that I just wanted to be a law-abiding citizen.